You're about to watch an RDG production, and I'm sincerely grateful for your time and commitment. If you like what you see and you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please may I suggest that you go to the RDG Productions YouTube channel, you search for it, look for a man looking a bit like me wearing a hat, and then hit the subscribe button. And if you want to be alerted every time something is published, then please click on the alert button. And you never know, you might be watching a program about Kuala Lumpur, this beautiful city, the capital of Malaysia. But enough from me, sit back, relax and enjoy the RDG production you're about to see.
The handsomest town's iconic Howrah Bridge lies eerily empty in early 2020 as the city joined lockdowns across the world to fight a deadly disease. In 2021, India, along with the rest of the world, continues to fight this pandemic. Magnificent Calcutta. So much has been written about this city. I know this place has a big heart where its people smile and make the most of what they have. Calcutta has transitioned from its glorious past as the seat of the British Raj to a provincial Bengali city, totally at ease with itself. Along the way, the city has faced some of its darkest hours as it was ripped apart by sectarian violence, famine and economic stagnation. But the people of this East Indian metropolis have always tackled these difficulties gracefully, emerging bruised but never broken. It is with this in mind that we continue the Handsomest Town series that tells the story of a city that is living proof that adversity can be overcome. And let's remind ourselves of life before this pandemic and look forward to those days returning.
Welcome to the handsomest town, Kolkata. I would have loved to have been standing next to French traveller Louis de Grandpré in the late 1780s when he described Calcutta as not only the handsomest town, but probably one of the finest in the world. That was when Calcutta was being primed as the seat of the British Raj. Now, let's fast forward around 250 years. Calcutta is now a more provincial city, and there's a quote I like from an Indian TV journalist, Veer Sanghvi, who says, "Calcutta is not for everyone. You want your city clean and green, then stick to Delhi. You want your city rich and impersonal, then go to Bombay. You want them high-tech and full of draft beer, Bangalore's your place. But if you want a city with a soul, then come to Calcutta. Welcome to the handsomest town, the place where I was born."
It wouldn't be an exaggeration to say that cricket is an obsession in India and is of course something imperial rule left behind. The handsomest town is home to one of the world's iconic cricket grounds, Eden Gardens, in the heart of the city. It is right up there with Lord's in London and the MCG in Melbourne, Australia. Built in 1864, it is the country's first ever cricket ground and is often called the Mecca of Indian cricket. In fact, the handsomest town is home to one of India's most successful cricketers, Sourav Ganguly. But today, an Indian cricket megastar from Mumbai is in town. Sachin Tendulkar is here to kickstart Calcutta's only marathon, sponsored by the IDBI Life Insurance Company.
Sachin! Sachin! He's over there. Sachin!
The marathon itself began in 2008 and, like many other cities in the world, is a popular event in the calendar. And You're not going to believe this. I decided to take part.
Just to be clear, 42k, 21k, 10k that way, right? But I'm getting the 5k that way.
Alright, it's not quite the full marathon, but it's better than not taking part at all. And trust me, even for 5k, I had to do a fair bit of training beforehand. Being February and quite early morning, the climate is just perfect for this kind of event. And, as you can see, not everyone was running as such. Many were happy to simply walk.
I feel very privileged, very honoured to be taking part in my own little mini marathon, the 5k, part of the Kolkata marathon. Never thought in my wildest dreams that I'd be doing this in this beautiful, beautiful city.
It was funny to see runners taking shortcuts so that they could see their cricketing hero. I decided to catch up with some of the participants.
Just found these lovely ladies walking the marathon, and how are you finding the marathon so far?
Very good.
Yeah?
We are excited.
Okay, great. And we're not too sure how many kilometers we've passed yet,
No.
but you're gonna be diligent and get through the whole thing, aren't you?
Okay.
You're gonna try your best, yeah?
Thank
Are you gonna run?
No.
No.
Walking is better for us.
It's better to walk, isn't it? And have you done the Kolkata marathon before?
Yes, once before.
Oh, wow.
So,
It's your first time in Calcutta?
yes, it is my first time in Calcutta.
And you're doing the marathon?
Yes, I am.
And what do you make of it so far, the weather and what you've seen?
The weather's been great. I ran Mumbai about 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
so
right.
This is actually better. It was humid in Mumbai, and
Yeah.
here it's more tree-lined streets.
Yeah, yeah.
So it makes for a much nicer experience.
And what are your first impressions of Kolkata? I know you just arrived yesterday, I think, right?
Yeah, I arrived yesterday. It's beautiful. I like it so far. People
Yeah.
are really friendly.
Okay.
When people see you're a foreigner in
Yeah.
particular, I feel like they feel
Warmth.
like they need to take
Yeah.
care of you.
Yeah.
So so far so good.
And in case you're wondering, I did complete the 5k. Perhaps not quite chariots of fire, but I was happy.
Right, what's more important here? Most important, getting my 5k medal. 5k, 5k, 5k. Wow. Where is it? There we go. That's my medal. I'm very proud. I've completed the 5k Kolkata marathon, the run for hope.
This was meant to be a bit of fun, and of course it was. But this actually mattered to me, which caught me off guard slightly. If you are a shopaholic, then you're in for a treat with designer shops across the city. But most people prefer to go to the local areas where there are stalls and bazaars selling almost everything and anything. From the cheapest to the most expensive, Calcutta has it all.
There are shopping areas across the handsomest town, but one of the most famous ones and oldest ones is called Newmarket, or, as you can see there, it's the Stuart Hogg Market. You can get pretty much everything you want here, but you'll have to bargain.
Although the city is now full of modern shopping malls, Newmarket, which really isn't very new anymore, was originally opened in 1874, and some years later named after Sir Stuart Hogg, who was chair of the Calcutta Corporation. Today it is a crowded maze of shops, but during colonial times was an exclusive shopping area for the handsomest town's elite. It is the city's most well-known market and there is a real buzz about it. Calcutta has a unique vibe of its own, making it stand out even within India. No other person in the country, except someone who has lived in Calcutta, can relate to a wake-up call like this, salesmen announcing their arrival. This is so Calcutta. For me personally, I just love it here, something my other Bengali friends in London can't always relate to. Apart from my first 9 months of life, I have never lived in this city. But this was where I took my first breath. Perhaps that is the source of the bond. I quite simply arrive and quickly blend into this chaotic city and carry on from where I last left off. But you can escape the handsomest town, the hustle and bustle of it anyway. Just an hour or so by car, south of Calcutta, you're in a completely different world. The Sunderbans in rural West Bengal. The Bengali word Sundarban translates to beautiful forest and is part of the world's largest mangrove forest and is where 3 great rivers enter the Bay of Bengal, the Ganges, the Brahmaputra and the Meghna rivers. Part of the Indian-Bangladesh border runs through the Sunderbans, and you may recall the great Indian poet Rabindranath Tagore from episode 2. Much of his inspiration came from rural Bengal. The area is extremely poor, and most people are fishermen catering for the local markets as well as the bazaars of Calcutta. Unfortunately, the Sundarbans is often hit by devastating cyclones, killing thousands. Life here hasn't changed over the centuries. The Sunderbans itself covers an area of around 10,000 square kilometers and is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, home to the famous Royal Bengal tiger, as well as hundreds of bird species. It really is a birdwatcher's paradise.
So we're about 50 miles outside Kolkata and we're actually now in the Sunderban area, so it's a very rural, river-based mangrove area outside the city, and we're actually on a small boat taking us along the beautiful flat countryside. Now, there are tiger reserves down all around there, and I'm not sure we were actually going to see the Royal Bengal tiger. But just look at the beautiful countryside, beautiful river. Lots of fishing, no doubt, goes on here. We're not actually that far away from the Bangladesh border as well. So, and this is only an hour or 2 away from the handsomest town.
I was quite happy minding my own business and chilling in this beautiful Bengali backwater when suddenly this happened. I'm told it was a traditional wedding boat, something common in rural Bengal. I couldn't find the bride and groom, but there was a lady who was busting some mean moves to some Bengali folk music. The guests too were clearly having a good time and seemed to be performing for our cameras. But as we got closer to this boat, it became very clear that this wasn't a woman, but most probably a transgender person. And of course it doesn't matter. It was good to see diversity of this sort here in the Sunderbans. Everybody was being entertained and having great fun. Next time on The Handsomest Town, the great Calcutta killings of 1946 leave the city on its knees as it faced its darkest hours in the run-up to independence in 1947, when the British finally left India. They left a country divided on either side, the Punjab in the west and Bengal in the east, with Calcutta taking the brunt of sectarian violence that the outgoing British were simply unable to handle. And find out more about why I am heading to the Japanese capital Tokyo, a city that is inextricably linked to Calcutta thanks to its warrior son.
I find this amazing and quite special. Thousands of miles away from Calcutta, right here in a suburban temple in Tokyo, is a tribute, the statue of freedom fighter Subhash Chandra Bose, a man from Calcutta, another son of Calcutta, just like Rabindranath Tagore.
Keep watching The Handsomest Town and much more on the RDG Productions YouTube channel. Stay well, stay safe, and thank you for watching. See you next time.
Hi, you just watched an RDG production. I hope you really liked it and thank you for your time. If you like what you saw, you can subscribe to the RDG Productions YouTube channel. Google it and look for the channel with a picture of me wearing a white hat with a black strip, a bit weird. Look for that one and that's the right channel. And subscribe to RDG Productions, there's plenty more there. Thank you for watching and I hope to see you on the channel very soon.